And lastly is neck pain and stiffness. You know when your neck is just so painful, like it's so stiff, like you just always wanna, like, you know, I don't know how to name it, but like you want to do some acupuncture on your body just to get the pain to go away, but it just keeps getting stiff and numb and painful. That is also a very like straightforward sign that you might be experiencing minor stroke symptoms from a spiritual attack, right? So here are also symptoms for ancestral stroke. Name first of all, warnings from other healers. So usually with healers, name we can actually tell when someone is about to have that. It could be consulting and it can actually show up, or you could be just walking and someone will feel that okay, this person is not okay. Then the minute they feel it, they will warn you, right? That's what happens. We healers see things and we warn you, and you don't take us seriously, it's fine. Number two, dreaming of getting bitten by a snake leading to discomfort in that particular area. So when you have dreams whereas there's a snake and it's not happy, just know that you need to do something right by your ancestors, and the longer you take, then that is whereas you might encounter something that isn't good, and a stroke could be one of it if you get bitten by a snake. So if you get bitten by this snake in your dream, then you'll wake up with this feeling of discomfort on this particular area that the snake bit you in the dream, because it was happening in the spiritual realm, right? So this is a sign out you might be close to encountering a stroke, right? Number three, just like the same as with spiritual attacks, minor stroke scares. Like I said, usually with the ancestors, they give you the first stroke as a warning, like a minor stroke as a warning. And if you don't listen to those warnings, you don't pay attention to that, then it's going to be something serious next time, right? Number four, inability to concentrate. And lastly, blindness, right? Minor blindness, whereas your vision comes and goes, the same as it does with the spiritual attack stroke. And lastly, I want us to look at how it is that you can actually prevent this, right? So in terms of preventing it, I did like differentiate them, like separate them. So with ancestral attack stroke, soaking your body in coarse salt is actually going to be the one thing that you should do on a regular basis. It doesn't remove it, but it stops it from moving faster on your body, and the more you do it, you'll just find yourself feeling a lot more relief on that particular area while you prepare yourself to do the necessary ritual to actually remove the stroke. Number two, avoid medical doctors. I know that doctors are good and the only way to avoid them is actually take an apple a day, but when it comes to spiritual things, the more you use medical things, Western medicine, the faster the muti moves around your body. So it's actually very best to actually avoid it unless you are very certain that it's not spiritually related, right? Or it's not a spiritual attack in any way whatsoever. Number three, go through necessary rituals on your body, right? So the minute you're aware of the fact that you are experiencing symptoms, or rather someone has already confirmed with you that you are you're going to have a stroke very soon, it's important for you to go through the necessary rituals on your body to ensure that you stop it completely, because until you stop it, this will continue to happen. You will still end up getting this stroke regardless, right? Number four, remove and get rid of the source of this muti, right? So when I'm talking about the source of this muti, I'm talking the basis that there is something that you were given that had this muti, or you stepped on something that had this muti. You need to remove this particular object from your life, from your home. You burn this thing, you cast it away, right? In the process of actually going through the necessary procedures to actually remove whatever muti on your body, you make sure that you do the necessary things to actually remove the object that was used to actually send you this particular spiritual attack, right? And number five, you do a back to sender ritual. So a back to sender ritual is very important in the basis that when you do it, automatically this muti has to go back to whoever sent it, because when you do rituals to remove certain things, they automatically need to go somewhere. Muti is energy, right? Spiritual attacks are energy doesn't just disappear, it needs to go somewhere, and it's always best to send it back to whoever sent it. That way you never get bothered by it again. The downside of it is that the person who sent it will actually experience the same thing, but who cares? Like, they want to do it to you, so who cares? And lastly, with how to prevent early or how to cure ancestral stroke, I have four things that I can advise you with. The first one is to partner and ask for forgiveness. If you've done something that you are very much aware of that you were not supposed to do, or that has upset your ancestors, ask forgiveness and do things right by your ancestors. Now, the minute you do that, then they'll most likely take a step back, because most ancestors are very understanding and they're very they reciprocate to you as Wanabadimu, as the person they chose to bear the gift, because it's a heavy burden to take, and sometimes you won't get it right whenever you want to. You're gonna get it wrong here and there, and it's normal, it's understandable, right? Number 2, begin appeasing your ancestors as requested, right? You can ask forgiveness, but if you don't do things the right way, if you don't appease your ancestors, if you don't do what they asked of you, then automatically you're gonna go back to square one. So appeasing your ancestors is very, very important, right? Number 3, stop doing what triggers your ancestors. So you might find that your ancestors are punishing you because maybe you drink too much, maybe you party too much, you don't give enough time to your ancestors and your ancestral work. So that means that at this particular point in time, it's very important for you to actually try and notice what it is that is triggering your ancestors and work on stopping it to make sure that you don't encounter anything bad. Because the thing about the ancestors is that you can appease them, you can ask for forgiveness, but if you continue the same habits that they're against, then you will still get the repercussions from like that you are trying to avoid to begin with, right? And lastly, initiate. It's straight to the point. Initiate. Like, some people are actually encountering strokes not because they're doing anything wrong, but because they are delaying their spiritual path, right? So by just going ahead and doing what you're supposed to do, one thing I always tell people, initiating doesn't change your life. You can still go on and live your life the way that you want to, have fun, enjoy it. Nothing changes, right? So just go ahead and appease your ancestors, initiate, then you're good. You won't encounter any of this drama, any of these punishments. You won't encounter them, as long as after initiating you still do right by your ancestors when need be. Then you can continue with your life. Anyways, guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I try to make it as short as possible, but yeah, I hope it was detailed enough for you guys to understand this. And if you do find yourself having symptoms of a spiritual stroke, please do not just sit with it. The longer it's in your body, the stronger it becomes, and the more severe the repercussions. And this applies to all other spiritual sicknesses and attacks. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me. Have yourselves a beautiful one. Thokozani. Bye bye.